Hey guys, it's Lady Scorpio at the Crossroads. Hey, I know it's late, but I wanted to do a quick video. Hey, I'm seeing a lot of things and getting people, asking all these questions about them wanting to do various things. And they're wanting magic as a means and way to do it. Well, So let me explain this because sometimes people think that they can go out and do whatever they want, and if it's not justified, the universe is not going to let it fulfill. Well, number one, we know that's not true, and I did a video on that. I had somebody writing me and asking me, trying to get someone to do something for them, but it puts the other person in a bad position. It puts them in a bad place. And what kills me is that this individual that's asking me to do this, they have no care about the other person. They don't really care. They just feel a sense of entitlement, or they feel like they've been wrong, so therefore the other person has to pay for it. This all goes back to when I talk about the shadow work, going out and getting healing, doing Reiki, talking with a counselor. But I'm not going to dog it out, but sometimes counselors just want you to get mad and they want you to feel bad so that they can get more money. That's the bottom line. Seriously, okay? And I've had people tell me this that are dear friends of mine with like the VA hospital. I'm not going to get into that because other than to say that day that I had that argument with my friend and he was like, wait, you've been to the VA hospital to end process? And I said, yeah, they harassed me and antagonized me and wanted to bring up half the bad stuff that happened to me. Like I was raped when I was in the service, okay? It was horrible. And I like threw up until I like ruined my teeth. I like actually have, you can actually see on the back of my teeth how they're ruined from throwing up. But we're not going to get too much into that. But so, it's just really, anyways, so, you got Reiki. There's also a woman I know that does the Holy Spirit healing, and she does it through this type of breathing and prayer work. And it really does work. I've tried it. Crystal healing, aromatherapy, all of that. It's all just a different thing. Okay? Me, I'm a tough cookie. I've been through hell, you all know. I had somebody who was hexing me, and yeah, the universe let it go because it was what they were projecting out there. See, it made me stronger. Were they justified in what they did? Hell, absolutely not. And when I was going through it, it was hell because it was ruining everything and ruining my family, but it's made me stronger. And I also made my special oil now. So it's made me very strong, a very strong person to be able to fight and counteract these assholes. So yeah, if you're an asshole out there and you haven't did your healing and you're going out and going to every person you can to try to ask them to do harm to another person because of a sense of entitlement or because you haven't did your healing work, that's not cool. That is just not cool. That is awful to do. If you say, hey, so-and-so did this to me, and I feel like they didn't hold up to their end of the bargain, so therefore I think I need a goat from them and 5 cows and a bale of hay and a barn, and I need that person to pay for the barn and pay for the rent for it and pay for the... No. We all know this as human beings. We all transform. We all go through our things in life where we all change. We don't grow at the same rate, spiritually speaking, physically speaking. God, that brings up some other issues that I see sometimes, but I can't get into that right now, but later on I can. So, when you're doing magic work, think about what all you're doing. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this when your emotions are high? And when your emotions are high, what is it? Is it a feeling of happiness because you're going to bring happiness to another person? Or is it because you're going to do something bad to another person? And are you going to feel good about that? Let me tell you, these people who did bad to me and I was sending it back, it did not feel good to me. It hurt me. It literally hurt me because I didn't want anybody to be hurt. I wanted them to be healed, but I had to learn that sometimes people only understand getting smacked with what they smacked you with. You ever seen that funny little skit where somebody hits you with the fish and you grab the fish and you hit them on the top of the head with it, kind of like that. So when you're out there doing stuff for, trying to get help with things, and you're wanting prayer work, and the same thing goes with prayer. I mean, I've had people say, "Oh, pray that so and so can do this so that I can have something," and it's like, you know, the universe works in a funny way, and there's stuff hidden in the Bible, there's stuff hidden in ancient texts, but people read it wrong. You know, we sometimes think that, we're the vine, or we're that plant, that whatever, growing that fruit tree, and that as long as we're good and we stay within our little bounds and we're kind and polite, that does not work in this society. You have to be able to know when somebody's pulling your chain, when somebody's purposely trying to cause you harm. You have to know these things. You have to, because you just can't always turn the other cheek when somebody's trying to purposely hurt you. So you have to really be able to balance within yourself what you have coming at you, especially now. We need it more than ever to have the light in this world. And no, I'm not into the theology. Those of you who watch me know that I'm not into that. It's man's reasoning. And I'm not sorry to say this, but sometimes these theologians, they don't reason right. They only reason from their side. They haven't got the hangman card yet, where they have to do from a different perspective. They haven't thought from another's perspective. Like this whole thing going on right now with the Catholic Church and these people who were molesting these kids, and now they're going to let this Catholic priest, if I understood correctly, go to Ireland? Oh, hell no. We've been there, done that a few years back, and that jerk got to go and got to retire, and he molested all these little boys. Something has to be done. You can't just sit down and say, I'm going to go pray about this and think that something is going to come out of that. You got to have some action and something else going with it. Even if it's to encourage someone else to come forward and say, we've had enough, we're not paying our tithes, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, and getting the boat started and doing different things. It's not going to work just lighting a candle. You've got to do the work behind of it. You've got to look for those opportunities and doorway windows that open when the universe comes. Heck, I've missed them. Yeah, I've missed opportunities. We all have, because the world we live in today is crazy. But anyways, I just wanted to share with you all, magic is not about, it really, really is not about manipulating and causing harm to other people. It's really not. It's not meant to be that way, because what you put out there, you sow back 3 times, whether you like it or not. It's just how it is. And it's a universal law. At least I believe it to be a universal law. Maybe it is in my groove, in my experience, with the energies I have. Some people will say, that's only if you believe in it. Well, I used to not believe in hexes until it was happening to me. And then 5-6 years later, it was like, oh shit, these people tried to destroy me. What do you mean they're still doing this? What do you mean? Yeah, one's dropped out, but you haven't did the right things. And I'm like, well, I haven't did anything because I'm too afraid to light a candle on my behalf. Well, you better get over it and light a candle on your behalf. Which brings me to another point. If, or like these people who say, so-and-so, that man don't need to be with her. He needs to be with me. So I'm just going to sabotage her life so I can get him. Don't do stuff like that. That is a grown man, and he has the right to make his own decisions. Now, if you think she's causing confusion or she's put a spell on him, you can take a red and black candle, skull candle, and do the little eye thingy and say, uncross his eyes, let him see fully the full picture. But if she's not cursing and hexing him and binding him up to her without his knowing, he's going to see what you're doing too. And he's going to get these weird things that are happening in the universe around him, and he's going to be like, why did somebody just say that to me? Why is this happening? Oh, this is the 3rd time this week. Oh, that must have some kind of meaning. Something must be going on. And then, you get that phone call. Hey, girl, I had this happen. Do you know anything about that? And if they're in your local area, they might stop by and see you and say, hey, did you know about this? Hey, I had this happen. And then it's like, oh, your shit's been caught. So, before you do anything, you divination, divine, look and see, divination, divine, is it within the light? Then you have to look and say, hey, is what I'm doing, is it within the light? Is this going to improve my life and someone else's? Or am I just taking advantage of another person? Because you can only play that game for so long because you attract things to you. This world has entities. It has, oh God, it slipped my mind. The elementals. It has spirits that are bound to this earth that are miserable. It has spirits on this earth that haven't crossed over, that had horrible things happen to them, and they're confused and they don't know what the hell's going on, and they can't get any rest because they don't know what's happened. They don't realize they've died, or they realize they've died and they're bitter because they were done wrong, or they were murdered before their time, or after their death a loved one did some foul shit to the rest of the family or friends or fiancés. There's so much that goes into it, so be really careful with what you do and what you project out there, people. Just telling you, because it will happen. All right? So keep that in mind when you're asking for things. Make sure, my battery's about to die, so make sure when you're asking for things and you're asking for other people to come forth and help you with things, that you're not drawing them into something that's not right, or that you're not drawing them into your scheme to hurt another person because you're too damn lazy to go out and get a job and pay for your own shit. Okay? I mean, it's the way it is. I mean, I'm proud. I lived in my car because I refused to take from another person. Okay? As a woman, I tried to keep myself together. I hung my dress clothes in my car as I went around looking for work. I had people saying, you're just a white girl with blonde hair. You can't be homeless. I'd be like, come out and look at my car, because you'll see my food in there. You'll see what belongings I have in my trunk. And you'll see that. When they see that, they're like, oh shit. I said, yes, we all are suffering in some form or another until we reach a certain pinnacle. And the Buddhist monks talk about this. And I've seen pastors even have this concept. So I've had that happen. But I refused to do that. But what really killed me when I was homeless was the fact that I would see all these men helping other men. Sometimes I seen the men not helping other men, which really pissed me off. But yet here I was a woman and I wasn't even getting help. I was getting corralled like I was a child and treated like shit, even by other vets, male vets. So yeah, so one day hopefully I'll have a program and I'll be able to help women veterans out there, because it's bullshit. This society needs to stop, and we need to have more respect for the mama, okay? So anyways, I got off topic. But anyways, just be really careful with what you're putting out there. Be careful with what you're asking for. And don't think you can keep lighting candles and you haven't healed and you're going about something from the wrong perspective. Sometimes we just need to do the reverse. We need to do the hangman. We need to look at the perceptions or perspective from what we're asking to be done to another person, or what that person may be going through, or even ourselves. Sometimes we're going down path Y and we need to be on X. Or we need to be on Y, but we're looking at it wrong. We're not looking at it in a way that benefits us for our highest good and our highest purpose. But anyways, on that, my phone's about to die. So you all have a good night. All right? Lady Scorpio at the crossroads. Out.